Hey, what's good, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, it is yours truly, Mike. Come back at you guys with another video today, now and then, as we always do. Magandang umaga, magandang gabi, magandang hapon, which means good morning, good evening, and of course, good afternoon, depending on what time you guys choose to watch this video. Today, I know it's shining in the back. Nah, fuck it ain't going nowhere. It ain't gonna change. Focus on the words, not so much my looks. Simply, I know, guapo, but you gotta focus on what I gotta say today, as opposed to what I look like, alright? Now, today I wanted to discuss one of my favorite topics. Not really one of my favorite topics, but I have been getting a lot of emails of people asking me about the differences between, places that I live. And today we're gonna discuss, my time and experiences living in Manila as opposed to my time and experience living in Davao City. Which one is better, which one I like more, why I like more, what are my dislikes about each area. I'm gonna try to cover as much of this as I can in a short period of time, because I do not plan to be before you long. Even though every time I say that, my video shoots up to like 30 minutes long because I don't know when to shut up. I'm gonna try to keep it relatively short, try to get as much information as I can. I'm likely to forget something because, as always, Mike don't write this down. I didn't write down my pros and cons. I just basically talk off the top of the head, because basically I feel like you guys get more out of my videos when it's spontaneous, or you get more out of it when I'm not jotting down notes and trying to, explain it to you that way. Not always the best process, but hey, that's how we're gonna work it out today. Alright, now first things first, this is only my opinion, and I admit that there is a bias. Alright, you have to realize I lived physical residence. I lived in Davao City for 10 years. That was where me and the family held physical residence. I have an address there. Matter of fact, hold that thought. Let me get something for you. Let me show you something, so that y'all don't think that I'm playing. Some people don't believe that I actually lived in the Philippines. But I'm going to take out a couple things for you so that y'all can get the real deal Holyfield about your boy. Alright, first things first. This right here is I ain't going to show you my stuff, but if you can see it, it's my alien certification or registration card. You can't see it, see my mugshot, that's me. If you can read it, it says Republic of the Philippines, and all my numbers and stuff. Republic of the Philippines, alien certification or registration. Alright, that's number one. And number two, gotta hold my name because I don't want nobody knowing my government. You can't really see it, but that's my picture, and that's my Republic of the Philippines non-professional driver's license, okay? So, and these IDs that I have here have my Davao City address on it. That's where I lived, alright? So, I admit to being biased. I know you probably couldn't see that because it has a reflection on it, like a gloss, so it kind of reflects instead of you guys being able to see it. But I just wanted to give you guys the gist of it. But those cards have my physical address, which was located in Davao City. And I admit that I have a bias simply because I lived there, and I went to Manila specifically for like a vacation and hanging out. So, it was cool hanging out in Manila and stuff like that. But I feel like maybe my experiences and things would be a lot different if I held physical residence in Manila and then visited Davao City. So basically, if the tides were changed, maybe my opinion and what I'm about to say in this video may change. Alright, but at the end of the day, let me talk about Manila. When it comes to me in Manila, just like I mentioned in the a video about Angeles or Angeles, however you pronounce that. Somebody told me it's Angeles, whatever the fuck. I don't know. When it comes to like I said in that video, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Manila too. And the reason I have a love-hate relationship with Manila is I can only deal with Manila for a specific amount of time. And literally, that specific amount of time is very, very minimal. After I've been in Manila for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, I'm bored and I'm ready to go back to Davao. Like I said, we have a beautiful, beautiful condo. We really do. And the view is fucking spectacular, man. We got a nice view of the city. Picture coming. You know, we have a nice view of the city. You know, I wake up to this view every single morning, and I love it. I really do. I genuinely love it. You know, we have a little workout room and everything, as you saw in the picture. You know, got a little Nordic tracks, a little treadmill and whatnot. So, you know, I get the workout, I get to look at the city and stuff like that. And also, we have a workout station downstairs on the 7th floor. You know, got a little swimming pool area. I show you all that stuff whenever I get to vlog it. You'll definitely get to check that out. Coming soon, by the way. You know, and all the way downstairs, we have a mall that's connected to our condominium unit. So we're really straight. Like, everything that we need is convenient. That's the one thing about Manila that I do like. Everything is more so convenient. You know, we have everything we need. If you want to work out, bam, walking distance, mall, downstairs. Everything is within a distance, short distance. So that's really cool about Manila. But the problem is, whenever you want to see, you know, let me stop real quick. Let me go back. You know, like I said, everything is within convenience, but when you do the same thing every day, it becomes repetitive. You know what I'm saying? It becomes just, damn, same thing every single day. You know, mall, gym, whatever. And let's say you want to try something new. Let's say you want to go out. You want to check some stuff out. Then you have to worry about what is known as Manila traffic. And I had mentioned that in another video. Manila traffic is the worst traffic I have ever been in my life. In my whole entire life. Manila traffic is the worst traffic I have ever experienced in a day in my life. It can get bad in Davao City. It really can. It can get really bad in Davao City, but it is not as worse as Manila traffic. I mean, Manila traffic is damn near 24/7. At least in Davao City, you know, you can expect particular traffic times, like in the morning about 6 through about 8 or 9. It's going to be heavy traffic, people going to work. But during the middle of the day, even around lunchtime, you may have a little bit of traffic if people leave work to go get food. And then in the evening time, around like 5, and then 4:30, 6 to about 8 or 9, about 4:30 to about 9 o'clock, traffic can be really bad too. But in Manila, traffic is bad from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. I swear, if you actually counted how many hours or minutes spent in traffic, you have spent half of your day, your work day, whatever it may be, in traffic. You spend a couple of hours at work, then you got to go deal with more traffic to travel back home, depending on, you know, where you live and reference to, you know, where you live and to where you work. You know, that could really cause you a serious headache. I remember I wanted to go to BGC from where I live. That BGC is known as Bonifacio Global City. If you've ever been there, it's a beautiful place. I mean, it's really nice out there. But from where we lived in Ermita area. You know, travel time with traffic, man, is just crazy. It's almost like you have to really want to go there in order to get there. Simply because if you get there, you know, you may spend like an hour and a half, 2 hours or something, and then you got to travel the other hour and a half, 2 hours to go back to where you were from. So, you know, when you go out to places like that, you really have to go and you have to want to spend a majority of the day there, because if not, if you go there just for a couple of hours to do something, eat, check out something, go watch a movie or whatever it may be, you know, you're going to spend just as much time in traffic as you did in your physical destination or in the place in which you were trying to visit. You understand? So I really have a problem with Manila traffic. I really do. That shit get on my nerves. And like I said, I do have a problem with the repetitiveness of being in Manila. It's almost the same thing every day. Another thing, but hold on. Let me go ahead and mention the last thing that I hate, and then I'll talk about what I like about Manila. The last thing that I really fucking hate, and this is a big one for me, is Manila is so much more expensive than Davao City. I mean, Jesus, it's just too much for me. It's too much for me. I don't like it. When you've lived in Davao and you're used to certain prices and you got to go to Manila and shit, it just becomes more expensive. And I don't like when it costs me more to do the exact same activity or eat the exact same food than it does where I'm from. That shit pisses me off. I'm like, yo, I can get this for X amount. You want to charge me double or triple that when I'm here? That pisses me off, and that makes me want to go back to where I was from. All right, so definitely there's a price difference in Manila and as opposed to living in Davao City. Now, of course, you have to be able to expect and accept that, you know, Manila is the capital city of the whole entire Philippines. Just in case you didn't know, Manila is the capital city of the Philippines. And you have to expect that the capital city, because it brings in more foreigners and it brings in more tourist attractions and blah, 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 whoop-de-doo, it's going to be expensive. You have to expect that. So I accepted it. I just don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I accept that it's real, but I don't like it, which is one of the main reasons why my time spent in Manila is super, super, super limited. You understand? Maybe a week and a half at most, you know. When I travel back home, you know, my pop's gonna be there and stuff. I might spend some time with him. Like I said, I'll probably do about a week and a half so I can give you guys some solid vlog work and take some pictures, show you how I'm living, and, you know, just show you my lifestyle while I'm there in Manila, but it ain't gonna be very long. And then I'm gonna shoot over to, hopefully I could be able to shoot in the DAVAO, get you some good footage and stuff. You know, my girl's in Cebu right now, so we'll see how that plays out. You understand? So, yeah. Like I was saying, like I can't really live in Manila for an extended period of time, but I have to admit that one of the good things that I do like about Manila is the closeness or proximity to the U.S. Embassy, the United States Embassy, you know, where you go and get your passport renewed, where you go and get this, whatever. We're literally 5 minutes away. We're literally walking distance. We're like 10, maybe, I'm sorry, not 5, maybe about 10, 15 minutes walking distance away from the U.S. Embassy. So it's really, really close. We don't have to go out of our way, you know, just in case there's emergencies happening. And of course, my dad, who is a retired veteran, salute to my soldiers out there, salute to my pops, salute to my brother, you know what I'm saying? Everybody who serves in the military. It's actually where our condo is. It's relatively close to the VA hospital as well, you know. So at the end of the day, the closeness of proximity to, you know, being able for my dad to go to the VA hospital and for my you know, and for us to be able to go to the U.S. Embassy if we have some things to take care of, that's definitely a really, really good, solid reason why Manila does have a good advantage point from that particular perspective. And of course, we're literally 5-10 minutes away from the Mall of Asia, MOA. For those of you who don't know, biggest mall in Asia, owned by SM, you know, but yeah, I've never been much of the mall type. I don't really go to the mall unless I'm gonna buy something, or, you know, like I said, I'll do it for vlog work, you know, if that's necessary. But I've seen so many vlogs on the Mall of Asia, I probably won't waste my time to do it. It's big, man. That mall's huge. And there's nothing really special about it. You know, they got a Nike store. You know, they don't really have anything in that mall that I know of that you probably couldn't find in any other mall in the United States or something like that. So, you know, it just depends on how I feel. Will determine if I actually vlog out there or not when I get back. Okay? You know, and one more thing that I hate about Manila before I move into my DAVAO perspective. Hotels are expensive. You know, I talked about things not being cheap, and I was speaking more about food, but living cost in Manila is crazy. Like, I want to let you guys know something. I wish I had that card in my wallet. I wish I still had it, but I know I threw it out. But I'll talk to you about it in a minute. I'm going through my wallet right now. But I couldn't find it. But let me give you a perspective. Hold on, I may have it here. Let me see. Anyways, I don't have it here. Sorry, guys. It was a card that I wanted to show you, but I'll explain it later. But when you try to find, like, hotels in Manila and stuff like that, it's super expensive. You won't be able to find nothing less than, like, and there's a couple of them. But, you know, the thing about Manila is they're slick, though. They are slick as shit. Like, let's say, for example, you want to get you a hotel room and you're there, right? You'll see a listing price of the hotels, and, you know, I'm the type of dude, if it's just me or whatever, or a companion, whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna just go for the cheap one, because I don't plan on being there all day, right? I don't plan on being there all the time. You know, fuck, I got a condo there. Yeah. Why would I want to do that? You know, this was back in the day when Mike was this was just back in the day, but I'm just giving you an example. You know, let's say, for example, you want to get a hotel room, and you know, you're with somebody, and, you know, you just can't bring them up to where your parents stay. Right? You know, if you go into the nearby hotels and stuff, what ends up happening is, what they'll do is you'll look at the price of it. You know, a person like me, I'll just get the cheapest one because I don't plan on being there all day long. You know what I'm saying? You know, 24-hour joint, if that's what it is, I don't plan on being there all day long, right? So I'll look at the menu or look at the ratings on the wall, and I'll be like, you know, just give me the cheap one. Cheap one's probably like 500, 700, 800. The first thing they're gonna tell you off the bat, especially if they know you're a foreigner, I'm sorry, if they see that you're a foreigner, the first thing they're going to tell you is that that room is not available. What they're going to tell you is the only available room is like the most expensive room or the second most expensive room. And that's really what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Because those rooms may be available, but because they want to make their money, and I'm not mad at that, that's business 101, all they're going to do is tell you that the cheapest room, the room that you actually do want, they'll tell you that that room is not available. You know what I'm saying? Simply because they want you to spend more money, because, i.e., you're the foreigner. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I don't really like it because, hotels in Manila can actually be expensive too. Unlike Davao City, sliding on into my neck of the woods, yeah. The thing about Davao City is where we lived in a place known as Toril. That is going towards the Davao del Sur area, going towards Gents and Digos and areas like that. I know my foreigners aren't going to really know the map out of it, but basically, I lived probably 40. Now, we're talking about specifically Davao City now. I lived probably about 45 minutes to an hour Jeep ride outside of the city limits of, well, not outside of the city limits, but from the city of Davao. Yeah, from the actual city area of Davao, okay? So, I used to take Jeeps every day. That was probably it wasn't a negative thing, but, it was just really time consuming, especially when traffic comes along. That'll take me like an hour and 30 minutes to go through traffic because we live so far. We live literally outside of the city. So that was one thing that I could say was a negative aspect. We lived too far, and as opposed to Manila where everything was just so convenient. I mean, the gym was convenient, the mall was convenient, everything was within a walking distance. In Davao, if I wanted to go to the mall, I had to travel. I had to get up, get dressed, get right, and travel. I had to be willing to travel. But it was worth it to me because, at the end of the day, travel was dirt cheap. I took a Jeep, because Jeeps are cheap. I could have took a taxi. Taxi would have cost me about $100 from where we live. Taxi. Oh no. No. It's not 100. It's 200 and like 200 plus for me to travel all the way downtown in an aircon taxi. Like 200, 250, 220. As opposed to the $20, I'm sorry, not say $20, 20 pesos that it would cost me to get on my Jeep from the top of my neighborhood and go all the way down to what is known as Ateneo de Davao University or El Davinco. That was a stop. That was where I used to get off at. Cost me 20 pesos, so 50 cents as opposed to $5. Although that $5 gets me downtown relatively faster because Jeeps stop frequently. In the Philippines, they stop all the time, and sometimes they sit and wait, especially in Davao. Really gets on my nerves. But aside from that, as long as I plan ahead in advance and I know that there's I just want to make sure I'm downtown in enough time, I don't mind taking a Jeep as long as I plan accordingly. But if I didn't plan accordingly, then I would take the taxis. It's just the way that it was for me. But, the distance, how far I live from the city part was a little iffy. It was kind of effed up. But you know what? I liked it. Mainly because nobody came to my house. I never had any people pop up wanting to chill and nothing like that because I live so far. And half the time, people didn't know where I lived anyway. So at the end of the day, that was really a negative aspect about Davao City, but let's get into what's real. Davao City is my mother effing place, all right? I love Davao City, and Davao City will always be near and dear to the heart. There was always something to get into. We live really close to the Eden Nature Park. I went there, I think, once only. It was cool, if you like nature. There are a lot of things you can get into, and you can get into them very, very cheap. It's very cheap in Davao City to me. Eating there, like me, I'm a Carinderia fanatic. Carinderias are like small cafeterias that sell local foods and local delicacies prepared by people from the country, of course. They're just little setups. You can get you some caldereta, you can get you some kare-kare, you can get you some palabog, some adobo, of course. Some of them have pork sinigang, yours truly's favorite, paborito ko, cassava cake. You go to these little eateries and you can eat very, very good for like $2 or $3, man. Like super, super cheap. If you try to do that in Manila, I think the price would be like $5 and above. It just costs you a little bit more to go to the same place and eat the same food, but it's gonna cost you like 2 or 3 times more than what you would normally spend. All right. And I mean, you could go to these places all over the city. Basically, I knew my landscape in Davao City, so I knew where to go. I knew how to get off on the Jeeps and stuff like that. And basically, that's why I probably preferred Davao City over Manila all the time. But if I had to look at it from a different perspective, as I told you before, if I lived in Manila and I knew my Jeep routes and things like that, maybe things would be a little bit different. Maybe I'd be like, you know what? Manila's not half bad. I mean, I will never get over the traffic in Manila ever in my life. Let's be honest, I'll never get over that. But at the end of the day, I'd probably be able to adjust and be okay with it, especially if I had places to go that I actually knew about and things like that. Because there's a lot of things popping off in Manila. More so in Manila than in Davao, for sure. Davao, I'm a real low-key type guy, so I'm really not into the whole nightlife and all that stuff like that, which is why I probably stayed relatively safe. I was a low-key dude. People seen me, they knew me, but they never saw me getting into anything. So that's why I remained really cool with what was going on in my city and whatnot. In Davao, of course. But in Manila, I think if I knew my way around, I'd probably like it a little bit more, because I could probably find places to go that were probably not too far, as long as I knew the Jeep routes and I can get around cheaper instead of having to take taxis everywhere. Yeah, it probably would be a little bit different. It would probably be a little bit of a different experience. But let's be honest, man, in Manila, you know, they do rob people out there sometimes. They don't rob everybody, but you know, chain snatching, purse snatching and stuff like that happens on the Jeeps. More so in Manila that I know of than it does in Davao. I mean, it could happen in Davao too, let's be honest. You know, my best friend, shout out to my boy Ali. I hope he doesn't get pissed off about me telling this story. I really hope he doesn't. But, you know, one time he was riding a Jeep. You know, the one time he decided to take a Jeep, man. The one time my boy decided to take a Jeep. He never took Jeeps. He took taxis everywhere, or he had his car. The one time he took a Jeep to do something, the one time, he had some money on him. He had a fair amount of money on him because he received a down payment for something that somebody was buying from him. And somebody got up in his pockets, man, and kind of snatched his shit. And then he got off the Jeep, and by the time that guy got off the Jeep and he realized it was missing, it was really too late. So, I mean, shit like that can happen anywhere. So, I mean, but in Manila, you know, it's just a little bit more crazier in my opinion. You know, I know he was really pissed off, and, you know, he was definitely in his feelings for a moment. I hope he doesn't get mad at me for telling his story. Peace to you, my brother. You know better than that. But yeah, man, my life in Davao City was just dope. I mean, I like Davao City for... I'm sorry, let's go ahead and put it in perspective. I'm going to go ahead and end it. Try to end it. I like Davao City more than I like Manila. I'll say it, but again, that's based on my opinion. You have to go there and you have to see these places yourself. You know, I felt safer in Davao City than I did in Manila. You know, I felt like the government out there, you know, they kind of kept foreigners safe. I mean, you know, let's be honest, these muggers or whoever they were really scared to commit crimes, more so against foreigners, simply because they were afraid of what could happen. Because the last thing that any city government wants to happen is to deter foreigners from coming into their area and spending their foreigner pera, or foreigner money. You understand? So, you know, they really take that serious when crimes are committed against foreigners out there in Davao City. Really take it serious, all right? So the reasons why I do love Davao City, again, relatively safe, relatively cheaper than Manila, wholeheartedly cheaper than Manila. You mean coming into places to stay and whatnot, and living in finding condos and places to rent, definitely cheaper. Hotel rooms are cheaper. You can find really cheap hotels. Matter of fact, there's a hotel in Davao City that I know about. I've never seen it, but I know about it. It's a hotel known as, and I'm going to shout them out. This isn't a promotion or nothing, but if my foreigner guys go to Davao City, check out this hotel. It's called Dimorvi Hotel. That is D''MORVIE. Dimorvi, like hotel suites or something like that. You can stay in the hotel for 12 hours. 12 hours for $5. And it boasts that you got your own flat screen in there, you got your own bathroom in there and everything. So it's your own place for $5 for 12 hours. For the whole night, cost you $10. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I think that, you know, hotels set up in that particular way definitely cater to a crowd that are promiscuous by nature. So I'm not sure how clean them sheets are. That's actually a place you would want to sleep over in, but I'm just saying, I've heard of it, and they have this big ass billboard that boasts 250 pesos for 12 hours, accommodations. It's got an aircon unit, single bed, flat screen TV, and single bathroom. It's a billboard, like a big billboard that talks about it. I wish I would have took a picture. I had the card because I had a card, like the business card of it and everything, and I'm sad and mad that I don't know where it is. But if I find it, I'll definitely show you guys. But yeah, man, I mean, I think staying in hotels and stuff like that are cheaper in Davao than they are in Manila. But the things that I like about Manila, that they have an advantage over Davao, a lot more stuff to do in Manila, per se, but I was always low-key, so most of the stuff that they had to get into, I really didn't care for, because it probably cost me more money than I cared to spend, number one. Number two, closeness or proximity to the Mall of Asia, closeness or proximity and convenience to any mall, going to the gym, etc. And also the closeness or proximity to the VA hospital for my dad, and also the closeness or proximity, based on where we live, to the U.S. Embassy. Those were basically the main reasons that Manila had an advantage over Davao City, but I kind of shifted my likeness to Davao City, ladies and gentlemen. I love Davao, bruh. I'll never trade Davao in for the world. Went to Cebu a couple of times. Cebu was cool, but I love Davao, man. Davao is home. Davao is my spot. Davao is close to my heart. Pusoko is close to my heart, bruh. I wish I could be there right now. There's so much shit I could be getting into right now. There's a lot of things I could be getting into right now. I'm sorry, man. I told you, man, this video gonna shoot up to like 30 minutes. It's already 25 minutes, and Jesus Christ, I talk too much, man. I hope you guys check it out to the end of the video so you can understand my likeness and my pros and cons when it comes to living in Davao City and living in Manila and bringing them together and bringing them apart. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so satisfied and I am so happy to tell you that Mike the P.I.'s Quick Guide for First Timers to the Foreigner hit #1 on the new release chart on Amazon for Philippine travel guides. Get some. Whew, that just makes me so happy. #1. I was the #1 release for Philippine travel guides according to Amazon, Kindle.com, and all that stuff. I'm super excited about it. I posted that on my Facebook page at Mike the PI Guide, all one letter, lowercase. Guys, anything you want to talk to me about, email me always. Email address MikeThePI Guide@gmail.com. What else do we got going on? The book, man, if you haven't gotten the book, I don't know what you're waiting on, don't know what you're sleeping on. I'm telling you, this already been labeled the #1 new release on Amazon. You're killing yourself. You're wasting your time, and you're not soaking up the knowledge like you need to. I feel like there are a lot of books out there, but I kind of feel like I touch on topics that I believe will be definitely beneficial to my foreigner travelers. I want you guys to know, I want you guys to be informed, and I want you guys to be able to create your own experiences. That's all I do it for. This was a passion project, and I'm seeing that the response is going well. And you hear what the people are saying. Read the comments. Read the customer reviews, people. You hear what the people are saying. They're not lying to you. They're not BSing you. They're telling you the truth. This guide is something else. It's unique, it's special, and it's a damn good read. Don't care how many times you've been to the Philippines. You're going to find something in that book that you're going to like, something that you can relate to, or something that you can actually learn. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike believes in edutainment. I want to educate, I want to inform, but I also want to entertain. Throw in some stories, make you laugh a little bit. I want you to understand where I come from so that you can get an idea of what the Philippines has to offer you. As I always tell you, this is not a dictation. This is not me telling you what to do, how to do, and when to do. It is simply a conversation between me and you. And as always, we're going to end it at that note. Link in the description below. Go ahead and copy your version of the ebook, copy your version of the paperback book. People are saying the paperback book is a little bit more better than the ebook because sometimes it's hard to read. If you got like eyes and you're squinting at the screen for a long period of time, it could hurt your eyes. So a lot of people are preferring the paperback version over the ebook. It is all okay to me as long as you guys enjoy the book. Whichever way you want to, cop it. Right now, prices for the ebook already went up, ladies and gentlemen, November 18th, like I told you. So check your recent update on the actual prices in the link in the description below, so you know how much it's gonna cost. Now, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, that is where I'm going to end it. I promise you. Tapos na. All right. As always, I love you guys. Love you. Salamat el soporta. Or is that how you say it? How did Apple the App say it in that song, that Bebot song? Salamat sa el soporta. Sige. Whatever he said. Anyways, I'm just saying thank you guys for the support. Any guys whoever put in the money and purchased the book, I love you guys. Truly near and dear to my heart, and thank you for trusting in my process. Thank you for trusting in my project. Thank you for purchasing the project. Salute to you. As always, love you guys. Mahal kita, mabuhay. Hold on, one second. Nah, I was gonna grab the book, but y'all know what it looks like. Y'all already seen it. Time out, hold on. Just in case y'all haven't seen the book yet, one more time. I promise not to put this in every video, but that's it, baby. Love it. All right, I'm done, people. I promise. Peace.